Let's begin with business and immigration law updates. This will be led by two famous attorneys of the Washington metro area. The first of these two attorneys is well-known Mr. Ramesh Khurana of the Khurana Law Firm, located in Maryland. The other attorney is Mr. Kenneth Haber. Let's catch these two attorneys in their legal approach for this week.
Good morning. I'm Kenneth Haber. I'm a former Assistant United States Attorney and a former Senior Attorney in the Office of Inspector General of the United States Department of Health and Human Services. And this is the Capitol Forum. Today we have with us is Ramesh Khurana, a very well-known immigration attorney who has helped people from across the world and across the country. And he's here to explain to us information concerning the extraordinary ability green card. Welcome, Ramesh.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you for the nice introduction.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. People tend to forget that attorneys are human. And they tend to forget that we enjoy helping our clients. Can you explain what the extraordinary ability green card is and what sort of pleasure you get out of helping people obtain this?
I like your comment. This is how immigration attorneys help their clients, especially people with extraordinary accomplishments in their lives, to get green cards. Now, this provision provides an opportunity to the applicant to stand in front of the queue for the purpose of green cards, because the number of green cards is very limited. People are standing in the queue. Sometimes wait is 11 years, 10 years, depending upon what kind of petition it is. But for the purpose of extraordinary ability person, the priority date is current and you can file the final stage of the green card application right away. So that's the benefit of extraordinary application. Now, when you say that what are the requirements, USCIS is the federal agency to whom the extraordinary petition, which is called EB-1 preference category, is submitted. And as I said, this is for the most talented and distinguished people in their professions, whether this is science, medicines, arts, or businesses. It's meant for everybody. So that's the way United States is extending invitation to the talented people to come to the United States and obtain their green cards on a priority basis. Now, I will tell you the criteria is a long list. There are about 10 prongs or 10 criteria. And if the applicant can satisfy or meet the requirements of 3 out of 10, his application is approved.
If a person has a PhD, does that meet one of those prongs already?
By itself it does not, but I think it will put a heavy weight behind the petition. Then of course, you know, when we are talking about the scientists or medical research professionals, now most of these professions would require a PhD degree, so that is the basic prerequisite. So this may be a great factor toward persuasion in regard to the petition. But as I said, there are 10 criteria. Let me tell you a few ones in the interest of time. Now, let us say a person has won an international award or a person has won some national awards. So we have to talk about those awards. Now, the most important thing is the way it works is when you are talking about a particular award which the applicant has won, so you have to give some additional information, like how many people participated in that kind of competition. You know, whether it was just a nomination or it was a competition. So you will say, okay, in this competition 100 people participated. Then who were the judges? Because that is also very important point here. because if judges are not from the relevant field, you know, like I may be a good attorney, but if I am made a judge to evaluate the work of a scientist, I don't think I can do a good job, you know. So, likewise you have to give the qualifications of the judges as well, and then frequency at which this award is decided. So, after you have given description of all these factors, only then it becomes persuasive. Otherwise, it's not a persuasive argument. You simply say, he won that award which is of national significance, you know, USCIS is not going to be convinced unless you provide all these details. And second factor is, let us say a person is highly paid. Now, when I say person is highly paid, now how do you define? A person is the highest paid professional. So, you have to look at the profession of the person. Let us say a person is working at NIH, he is a scientist. Now, most of the time scientists get paid around $70,000 or $80,000. But if this applicant is getting paid $120,000, probably at the entry level, this person may be the highest paid employee. You can talk about that. You know, this is how I make this comment, that highly paid employee, because most of the scientists at entry level are getting paid 70,000, but here is a guy who is getting paid 120,000. So, similarly we can talk about the papers, research articles which are published in the trade journals, or you can also talk about some recommendation letters which are given by another distinguished people in the field. If a supervisor of that particular employee is writing something like what kind of contribution this person is making toward the mission of the organization, that is going to carry a lot of weight. And these applicants can also approach some experts who are experts in the field. How do you recognize the experts? So, you have to look at the resume of the expert as well, which you have to attach, and then that person gives a comment like how this person's contribution is so significant toward the US businesses or scientific research or arts and other areas, then of course it becomes a winning petition.
Very good. I take it from all that documentation, they want to weed out those who are trying to claim that particular status by misrepresenting the source of the award, where they might pay to get an award. We all get advertisements where, oh, we've been selected to appear in this book and this book of successful attorneys, and we know it's phooey because they want money if we're
right. I agree with you. Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to avoid, I take it.
Yes. You know, screening process is very stringent, and they make a decision under the totality of the circumstances. You know, when you are producing some recommendation letters from experts in the field, 5-10 people, and that carries a lot of weight, you know, because winning an award is just one factor. So, other factors are equally important, like when your articles are published in the trade journals and there are citations. Now, citations of these articles, they carry really a very great persuasive power, because when people are quoting his articles, that means it has got so much strength. So, it is under the totality of the circumstances.
Like peer-reviewed material for
yes,
that healthcare or for academia.
I think you are touching on a very good point. Yes, peer-reviewed material also carries a lot of weight. So, that also goes toward the recommendation letters which we enclose with the petition.
Very good. How does this EB-1 impact people, the applicants from China and from India?
You know, Ken, this is a very good question. Because professionals from China and India, they are, you know, languishing behind in terms of obtaining their green cards, because large number of people come from India and China. if you look at the IT field. So, majority of them are from India and China. So, once they are here, after a few months, they would like to start their green card process. So, there is so strong demand and there is a country ceiling. You know, per country ceiling is 7%. No country can be given more than 7% of the total green card numbers available in the United States. So, they are standing in the queue, but if you are covered under EB-1 category or extraordinary ability, does not matter. At this point, at least I can say the priority date is current. And straightway, first of all, you have to file your immigrant petition, which is a kind of case where you are incorporating all the qualities and achievements and accomplishments of your applicant. Along with that, you can also file the change of status. That means you are saying, please adjust the status of this person from non-immigrant visa to green card. So, they are in front of the queue. So, they are likely to get their green cards, I would say in 4 to 6 months, because you can file the immigrant petition on a priority basis by paying an additional fee of $1,225 to the USCIS. So, they have to make a decision in within 15 calendar days, and along with that, if you have filed the adjustment of status petition, it is going to take about 4 to 6 months, and the person is given green card in about 6 months time.
That certainly speeds it up.
Yes, yes, it's very helpful, and this is recognition of the talented and distinguished people and professionals who have come to the United States. And even if they are sitting overseas, they can file these kinds of petitions. And for this purpose, even job offer letter is not required. That's the additional beauty. A person can be a self-petitioner, or if you have a job offer letter from the employer, this proves that this person will be working in the field of his or her endeavor for which purpose the petition has been filed. It's helpful, but it's not required.
What's the J1 status, and what's the interconnection between that and the EB-1?
You know, J1 status basically is a kind of non-immigrant visa, which is available to the research scholars, teachers, professors and trainees. But the problem is sometimes there is a funding involved by the host country or by the country who has where the person has been living. So, there is a home residency requirement for 2 years. So, before you file your EB-1 petition, coming to your question, this person has to obtain a waiver from the State Department. Otherwise, you cannot file EB-1 application, because you are bound under section 212E of the INA.
Is there anything in particular, as we're wrapping up, that you'd like to make sure that the viewing audience is aware of before we do wrap up?
Oh, sure. I will advise the audience that this is a great way of taking your green cards. If you think that you have got all these accomplishments and you have 3 out of 10 prongs, or you meet with the 3 criteria, so please talk to your competent immigration lawyer.
And thank you for viewing the Capitol Forum this morning.
Thank you.